The playbook is designed to be this little thing that surprises you and hopefully delights you, because it looks so innocent and it looks like it's this really simple playbook. And then you get into it, and just like with body whispering, the modality, the simplest of explanations and the simplest of exercises and the simplest of journaling prompts kind of goes in really deep and creates this change. And that was the target or the goal with this playbook, is to not have it be this really long, serious time commitment for you to sit down and work through this book and work on your blocks and begin the journey of healing. It was to introduce something to you that would allow you to think, oh yeah, this looks like a nice simple read. There's some beautiful illustrations. Maybe you like the color purple, and maybe you do one of the exercises. Maybe you use one of the journaling prompts, and you realize that you realize something, or a part of you became known to yourself that you didn't realize was there. So I hope that this playbook contributes to you as much as it has contributed to me already, and to our team, and to all of the people that are starting to message me, thanking me for the book. Thank you so much. It's so exciting to hear from you, and it's such an honor to have the book in your hands. And today I'm going to share a little bit from the book. I'm going to share a little bit more about body whispering and how it came about. And then I'm going to actually do an exercise with you. And this is a bonus exercise. This is an exercise that's not in the book already, because you guys, most of you have been so wonderful and have already bought the book. I want you to get the most out of the book. So this is a bonus exercise as a thank you gift for being here and being part of the launch. So, yeah, body whispering. Let's have a look at this book, shall we? So, I'm going to share my screen for those of you that are here on the Zoom with me so that you can have a look. So a lot of you by now are probably familiar with the title or the cover page. So this is the book, and this intuitive workbook is designed to help you build connection, awareness, and presence in mind, body, and energy. And we've got this, actually, let's just take a moment to appreciate this gorgeous, gorgeous cover. And I just want to say thank you so much to Rashmi in India, who designed this absolute masterpiece. We are so grateful, and it's so magical, and just the cover itself facilitates so much, and I love having it as part of my life. So thank you to Rashmi. And yeah, so this is the first page. So how to use this playbook. Welcome to Body Whispering. I'm so excited that you have found this playbook. Body whispering has been the intuitive and magical way that I have created a life that I love, a healthy and strong body that I trust, and a global business that is authentic and successful. How? By including the communication from my body, from my gut instinct, my awareness, rather than with my mind.
Adila, you're breaking.
Oh. Is this any better?
Now it's better. Thank you. Sorry to interrupt you.
No problems. By leaning into the wisdom and innate ways of functioning that our body naturally has. Body wisdom is a holistic approach that includes mind, body, and energy. It has allowed me to trust that I'm the greatest authority in my life and to follow the guidance that feels true for me, rather than outsourcing authority to anyone else. It's a wonderful and empowering way to live, and I would like to invite you to experience the same. So this is why I created the playbook, and this is what I would hope and pray is what you may be able to get out of this playbook, is that you start to trust yourself more than anyone else, where you feel aligned rather than disconnected from your source and your power, where you are open to receiving guidance and trusting the information that you receive. And those are two slightly different, or in fact, very different things. And we talk a lot about this in body whispering and body whispering class. The first part is hearing the whispers, right? And then the second part is actually trusting them and acting on the information, because half of it is being able to hear the whispers. The second half is actually trusting the information enough to take the action that the information guided you to take. And so that your body feels like your friend and not your enemy. There are so many people all over the world who are in battle with their bodies. There are so many people who, in fact, all of us are still living in this world where we make our bodies wrong. We are all about the physical aspect. Even from a health perspective, when something goes wrong with our body, we make it a problem rather than a gift or a contribution. Like, what could my body be telling me? How is my body helping me right now? If your body was truly a friend in your life, would you say the things you say? Would you think about it in the way that you think about your body? And would you make it so wrong as much of the time as we do with our bodies? And lastly, my hope for this book is that it creates for you an experience where living your life is an empowering experience for you, rather than one where you feel like you have no control or no choice. So body whispering, we use a lot of intention in body whispering. And over the next few pages in the book, you have the ability to actually create the intentions that you have for your life and for every area of your body, your health, your business, your relationships. So the journaling prompts and the ability for you to get intentional is also an exercise that helps you maybe realize how close or how far you may be from where you want to be in your life. Before we go further, do we have any questions, or is there anything that you wanted to know about body whispering or the body whispering playbook?
Adila, I don't want to know anything. I don't have any questions. I'm just simply excited. This is such a beautiful addition. In fact, I've just finished wrapping up a body whispering class, and I cannot tell you what a great privilege and honor it was, and such an amazing experience as a facilitator. And I'm sure participants have the same thing to say. You heard some of them yesterday. So really, thank you for bringing this book and making the experience of body whispering even more amplified and greater. Lots of love and more books from you.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. And thank you to all of our facilitators who are facilitating body whispering around the world. You have made my job infinitely easier, because finally you might have noticed that I have the time and the space to do things like this. And yes, I really hope that there is another book not too far away that goes into maybe a bit more depth and detail. And the reason that I can do these things now is because we have our practitioners, our advanced practitioners, and our facilitators of body whispering who are holding classes. They are spreading this work in the world. They are contributing to incredible healing stories, to the miracle of touch and intention and being connected to your power, which is what body whispering is about. So thank you, Smriti, and thank you to all of our body whispering practitioners and facilitators. You are so much not only part of the body whispering family, but the ambassadors for this work. And I thank you for helping make this possible.
Totally our good fortune and honor.
Thank you. Body whispering, for those of you that don't know, is a modality as well as a way of being. So what that means is how it started was by me realizing that what I thought was normal and what I thought everyone did was perhaps not what everyone did and not how everyone functioned. And what I mean by that is we are not encouraged, we are not taught to trust ourselves more than anything else. We are not taught to be the greatest authority in our own lives. We are also not taught that we are self-healing, we are self-generating, that our body is miraculous, that we have an incredible ability to know what is true for us, what is right for us, what would create the greatest experiences for us, and also conversely, what would not work. Most of us grow up being told that we should listen to everyone outside of us. I grew up being taught and told to listen to my parents, and then to listen to my teachers, and to listen to elders. And the more in authority someone was, or the older or more experienced someone was, the more I should listen to them. And the interesting thing about that is the more I was meant to listen to these people, the further away they actually were from my life, from my living, and from knowing who I truly was, right? Like if we think about the people that we're meant to listen to the most, the greatest authorities that exist in the world, how far removed are they from knowing you at a personal level? And yet we are continuously told that there is someone else that knows better than us, there is someone else more experienced than us, and there is someone else who, just because they are older, wiser, or they've done it before, we should actually do things the way that they tell us to, or the way that they recommend us to. And this also applies to not only living in general, it applies through some really important areas of life. It applies in medicine and health. You give up what you know, what the doctors are telling you, what you know for the diagnosis that you've been given, and what you get told is the best course of treatment for that. It exists in education. You know, it's well and good to be a good student, and it's well and good to be inquisitive, but in fact, if you're too inquisitive, and if you're going to question things that have existed for a really long time and the way things are taught, you're actually not going to be encouraged. You're actually going to be called disruptive at a certain point in time. And so through these really important areas in our life, we get taught and told overtly, as well as, you know, energetically, that we shouldn't follow our own knowing. We shouldn't follow that little whisper that you get, or that little inkling, or that little gut instinct to go and do something. We're actually encouraged from a certain age to drown that out and to do what everyone else tells us to do, or what they encourage us to do. And some people live their whole life like that. Maybe you're living like that in certain areas of your life still. Maybe you know that you would like to do a certain thing, but it would be too disruptive to your family because they wouldn't understand why you want to do that. Maybe you feel stuck in a certain area of your life. Maybe you feel stuck in your health. Maybe you feel stuck in your relationships. Maybe you feel disempowered because you can't do what you want to do because it would be inconvenient for too many other people. Or most disempowering of all is maybe you believe right now that you actually do not have a choice in certain parts of your life. And that is the very crux of empowering versus disempowering. To live an empowered life means that you know that you have the ability to change something that isn't working for you. And that even when something is happening to you that is not nice, that is inconvenient, that doesn't necessarily feel good, you still recognize that you have choice around it and that you can do something to either change that situation or that you know that you chose this for a particular reason and it's creating or contributing something for you even when it feels uncomfortable. If and when you feel like you have no choice, there is no way out of that situation and there's nothing you can do to change it, that's what disempowerment means. And when those situations are perpetuated in your life, that's when people become depressed. That's when people look for a way out. That's when people think that no matter what they do, nothing's ever going to change. So what's the point? And body whispering is the opposite of that. Body whispering is about reminding you that not only do you have choice, not only are you here to be an empowered being, living your life, having this experience in a body, but actually the help, the support, and the information or awareness that you are looking for is actually much, 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 much closer than you think. In fact, it's right here within us, around us, and we are connected to all things through our ability to connect with the whispers and listen to the whispers and follow the whispers. And the whispers are our own awareness and our own ability, because we are connected to all things in consciousness. It is our ability to tap into that consciousness and to make choices that create the life that we wish to have. And we can use that information in any and all areas of our life. So yes, body whispering is amazing for changing things to do with your body, to do with your health. But it's also just as amazing to change situations or things when it comes to relationship, family, money, work, business. What should I do? What situation, like what can I do to change the situation? What decision do I need to make here? What is the right choice to make? It's actually not a choice to make from up here. It's a choice to make from a much more holistic place that includes your body, includes your energy, and includes your mind, but not from a stuck point of view, but from being able to include all of the whispers that are available to you. So this playbook is meant to be this really fun way to introduce body whispering into your life. And for those of you that are, veteran body whisperers or advanced practitioners, it's meant to be this fun way to remind yourself to stay connected to the whispers. There are some great exercises. There's a grounding exercise. There's a breathing exercise. There's an anxiety exercise. There's a get to know yourself exercise, because we get so stuck in our minds and in living in our life from yesterday that we forget to actually reconnect with who we are today. And so this playbook and the exercises in it are designed to always bring you back to yourself, to your body, to your presence, and to the energy that will remind you to stay open to the whispers. So today I wanted to run through a little exercise with you all. That's going to be a little clearing and healing exercise mixed together. Before we go into the exercise, does anyone have any questions?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, can I?
Yes, go for it. You're actually upside down. Do you want to flip?
Yeah, I don't know. I have done something to my camera and I'm
Oh.
not able to change it right now.
Well, it's super fun.
Thank you so much for this playbook. I was so excited to get it, and like when I could open that, and all. I have one question about one exercise. So can I ask it here or not? That I don't really know.
Sure. What's the question?
There is one exercise, body awareness exercise, where the question is, how do you feel? What cues does your body give you if you feel thirsty, stressed, or need to exercise? So I am not getting actually like what is the answer for this, or uh, I'm not able to, judge how my body, like not able to get how my body is reacting for these things.
Cool. So yeah, and this is a great question because this is the point of this book and the exercise is it's like, I think the exercise you're talking about, it's like drink a glass of water. How does that make your body feel? What is your body, what did this tell you, right? And the thing behind that exercise is to bring awareness to the cues that your body was giving you that you maybe didn't realize were cues. For example, if you have a headache and that headache is there because you are dehydrated and you need to go drink some water, but you haven't realized that. So you go about your day going, oh my gosh, I've got a headache, I've got a headache, I've got a headache, and maybe you take some headache medication. When you do this exercise and you drink the glass of water and you rate on that scale in the book, how did drinking that glass of water make you feel? What did you become aware of? And what cues did your body give you? So that next time your body gives you those cues, you actually think, oh, maybe this is like that time my body really needed water and I kept ignoring it. So you can actually realize what different ways that your body communicates with you. One of them might be giving you a headache so that you actually go drink some water because you're dehydrated. When you go for a walk, you might realize that your body actually had been feeling really cranky or wound up, and going for a walk is super relaxing for you. But you had never cognitively made that association before. So that exercise in the rating scale is there to help you realize how good or not good doing something makes you feel and what your body is trying to communicate to you.
So I have to do this while I am thirsty or just anytime, like now also? And
you can do it now and see how you feel. And maybe you'll do it and you'll realize I really wasn't thirsty. Like my body really didn't need water then. And now you know how your body feels when it doesn't need water. Versus you'll do it another time and you'll be like, oh, this is what my body feels like when it needs water or when it needs fresh air or when it needs to exercise.
Oh, got it. Got it.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Great question. Any other questions?
I have a question, please.
Yes, go for it.
What if you have become very numb to the sensations of your body? Like, I feel like you talked about the water drinking just now. I get headaches often. I would tell myself maybe I'm thirsty, and I go and drink a lot of water, but that doesn't help. It feels like I am. This is my own personal example I'm giving. Is for years and years and years, I have taken care of others around me. So I've always put myself as the last person to take care of. So I've become very numb to the sensations of my body completely. So I can help people as much as possible, but if it comes to myself, I shut down completely. So would something like what you're doing help me personally to get in touch with my body in that way, or would it be a futile exercise for me? Thank you.
No, this is exactly why the book exists. It's actually because, believe it or not, most people function from that space. Like if I were to look at a continuum and I said, how many people function from being super connected, super aware, and super inclusive of themselves and their bodies versus how many people are walking around disconnected, drowned out the voice of their body and their being, and are used to putting everyone else and everything else in front of them, most people actually fit into that category. And so that's why the playbook was created. It was created to be something that you pick up no matter who you are and what stage of life or self-development you're on, where in the journey you're at. And it's meant to be able to contribute that awareness and connection to you. One of the exercises in this book is called Get to Know Yourself. And it seems silly almost because it's like, get to know myself, what? And it's got these really basic questions in there, but it is in there for that very reason, because you might not for the last 5 years have asked yourself, what's my favorite drink? What's my favorite thing to do to relax? What do I find stressful? What do I find relaxing? And so this book is actually designed to get you to go back into having a conversation with who you are in your current place in life. Because the other thing we do is we think we know who we are from 5 years ago, 10 years ago, childhood, and we never think to question if that's still relevant. So I've put these exercises in the book to help you reconnect not only to yourself, to your body, and to your energy, but also to reintroduce yourself to yourself. Because who you are now and what is true for you now might be different to what it was a few years ago or even a few months ago.
Well, thank you so much for answering my question. Really appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, most women do put other people first, and most people are walking around pretty disconnected. And this playbook is designed to be a beautiful gift as well. So if there's someone in your life that, you know, could do with a reintroduction to themselves, hopefully this is something that you can gift them. And it's also age appropriate for all ages. This is a great thing to do with your kids, or this is a great gift to give to kids or teenagers, adolescents, and get them to start including themselves as a whole being into the equation, and not starting to disconnect from themselves as they get older.
Hi, Adela. I have a question. Can I? Hi.
Yeah, sure.
Hi, thank you so much. You've been such a wonderful contribution. I've attended some of your free sessions. And I had a question about, that sometimes I think the more I connect with my body, the more I realize there's so much awareness that comes up, and I constantly keep having some of the other physical manifestations. Like I'll have some allergy, or I'll have some spasms or something or the other that's always going on. How do I handle all of this?
So do you think that's because do you tap into your body, or do you connect to your body and then you feel all these things, you get overwhelmed, and so then you disconnect?
Yes. And I feel the more I do, the more I try to connect with my body, the more there's a lot of things coming up. And of course I use all the tools of access, but it's still quite overwhelming at times.
Yeah. One of the things that we teach in body whispering is these 3 questions that we teach you in class to help you determine what that communication is from your body. But the main thing that body whispering is all about, the thing you will hear me repeat on repeat for the whole class is pain or bodily awareness is communication. Okay, the things you're feeling in your body, from your body, around your body is communication. Now, how most people function, and maybe how you have been functioning until now, because you didn't have the tools or the information about how to do it in an easier way, is how most people do it is they don't stay connected to their body. They're not present with their body, and they're not listening to the whispers. And so your body has a lot to say. And then it's like a friend who talks all the time. And so in order to not have to listen to your friend talk all the time, what you do is you only talk to them once a month, and you're trying to get off the phone as quickly as possible. So what does your friend do? Your friend's like, oh my gosh, I need to tell you this and tell you this and tell you this. And your friend is like talking her head off, and you're getting a headache by the time you finish talking to your friend. That's because your friend perceives that you have very limited time and very limited energy to kind of dedicate to listening to what she wants to tell you. And in that same way, your body is always communicating with you. And if you have this constant flow of communication and awareness with your body, you actually have very little issues or symptoms. Like a lot of people know, a lot of the body whisperers know that if I'm sick or if I'm unwell or there's something going on for me physically, it's very, very, very rare. And when something does happen, it's like very quick for me to change it, because body whispering has just become this way of being for me. That means I'm always in communication and communion with my body. But if you're not, and you only give your body like a small amount of time that you listen to it, and then you disconnect because it seems overwhelming, it is going to feel overwhelming because your body does have a lot to say. But if you actually create that communication and keep it there, your body will become quieter and quieter and become more and more streamlined. And what body whispering is about is being able to hear the whispers. So your body doesn't have to get to the place where it's shouting at you, where it's screaming at you, where it is trying its hardest to get your attention because you ignore the whispers. And for those of you that can understand that kind of analogy, those whispers are relevant for your life as well. So body whispering is not just about listening to the whispers from your body, it's about listening to the whispers about your life. We all know how we ignore the signs and ignore the communication until something becomes a major problem. And so in body whispering, we say, if you listen to the whispers, then you don't have to hear the shouts, or you don't have to feel the shouts and the screams. So my invitation to you, and if you want to use the exercises in the playbook, that's exactly what they're designed to do, is get you to make your body your friend, where it feels safe for you to have that conversation all the time, to stay open to receiving the whispers, so that your body then doesn't have to like cram all this information into very short periods of communication when you're willing to receive the information.
That made so much sense. Thank you so much, Adina.
You're very welcome. Thank you. Awesome. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to do a little exercise, okay, just so you guys can all experience a little bit of body whispering. And something that I have found is relevant for all of us is this concept of love, unconditional love. Now, most of us do not feel, or at least did not grow up or go through life feeling and believing that we are loved unconditionally. And what that creates is the opposite effect is when we don't believe that we can be loved unconditionally, when we don't believe we can be loved for who we are and just for being ourselves, it creates a fear of being rejected, a fear of not being good enough, a fear of not being loved, being accepted, being validated. And that's what then becomes the motivating factor in our lives, is we do or we don't do things based on whether or not we think other people will be accepting of that. And why that it creates a problem is because that means that you don't do what you want to do in your life. You do what you think you should do in order to receive the love that we all crave. And the secret is we all deserve to be loved unconditionally. We're all here, and when we were born, and as children, as teenagers, and as adults now, we all deserve and should be loved unconditionally. But if I were to ask you, do you believe that you are loved unconditionally? Not a lot of us actually believe that we are. And what it then creates is this compensatory mechanism where we don't want to test people's love. We don't want to upset people because we think it means that people will leave our lives, that people will be angry with us, that people will reject us. So today, what we're going to do is just do this little quick exercise that's going to give you a little more faith and trust in loving yourself and knowing that you can be loved unconditionally just as you are. So I want you to repeat after me, and you can say this out loud or you can say this in your head, but say out loud, it's safe to be loved. It's safe to be loved unconditionally. I can be loved just as I am. I deserve to be loved just as I am. Okay. So what's coming up is that a lot of us are storing this irrationality in our bodies. So a lot of you might have heard of the concept of congruence that I talk about. In Body Whispering, I'm always talking about congruence. Do you feel something and do you believe it at all levels of mind, body, and energy, which means you're congruent with it, or are you not with it, which means that even though you think something, you don't actually believe it, or even though you believe something in your heart or in your body, your mind or your subconscious mind doesn't actually agree with you. So irrationality means that something doesn't make sense, and this is an irrational thing. This is very frustrating, because what irrationality means is it doesn't make sense. And if I were to hazard a guess as to what the irrationality is here in this situation, it's the fact that cognitively you all understand that you deserve to be and that you should be loved unconditionally. And actually, it shouldn't matter what other people think, and that you should be free to do what you want, and you shouldn't change or try to make other people happy. But the irrationality is you don't know why there is this part of you deep inside that is really scared to upset people, because you don't want people to leave you and you don't want people to go away, and you want to be loved and you want to be liked. Does this resonate with you? Is this making sense? How many of you can identify with what I'm talking about? Yeah, okay. So this is what we're going to do. A lot of us are storing this in our pancreas area. So our pancreas is an organ, but what happens is we actually store beliefs, and we store experiences, and we store trauma in our body as well as in our mind, and that creates a change in us energetically. So yes, you are all infinite beings. Yes, you are all born as confident, loving, open people. And as we go through life, as we experience our childhoods, our parents' beliefs, the things that have happened to us, the things that we've been told, the things that we've seen, it changes who we are. It creates either micro trauma or big macro trauma that changes our ability to trust and to love and to receive. And it's one of the things that happens is we store these experiences and these trapped emotions in our bodies. If you've never looked at this concept, if you've never explored it, if you've never released it, it would still be affecting you. So let's do this really quick release, all of us together. So I'm going to get you to take one hand, okay? And I'm going to get you to put it over your pancreas spleen area. So that is right under your rib cage on your left-hand side. Okay, about here. About here. Okay, I'm going to get you to take your other hand. You're going to put it over your memory points or your emotional points. And I'm going to get you to roll forward a little bit into a ball. And what that's doing is it's activating your subconscious mind, your limbic system, your very primitive fight or flight response. And I'm going to get you to just think about this concept of being loved unconditionally. And I want you to think about all of the blocks, everything that you become aware of as you go down into this position. Maybe you're going back through the timeline of your life. Maybe as a baby or as a child, you didn't feel loved unconditionally. Maybe as a little girl or a little boy in school, something happened. If you can't bend forward, that's fine. Just put your hand on your pancreas area, hand over your forehead. You can tilt your head down. If you can't even do that, that's fine. This will still work. And breathing through it, going through the timeline of your life, thinking about being in school. Maybe you felt rejected when you gave the wrong answer in school one day. Maybe as a teenager, you felt that love was not unconditional when you got a bad mark in one of your exams or tests and your parents got angry with you. Maybe as an adult, you had a boyfriend or a girlfriend or a partner or a husband or a wife that broke your trust or betrayed you or made you feel unloved. And all of those things that you've been storing in your body and your mind and in your energy that make you feel like love is not unconditional, that you cannot be loved just for who you are, that you are not good enough. Just breathing through that and letting it all go.
हाँ मुझे तो गर्मी लग रही है.
And you might feel something change energetically. You might feel a lightning in your body. You might feel a sensation. You might feel like something has shifted. You might have a memory come up for you. You might have a thought. You might have a word. You might have a person flash into your mind's eye. And as you breathe through that, just allow yourself to let that go and tell yourself that it's safe now to be loved unconditionally. It's safe to be seen and loved for who you are. And it's safe to be you without any fear of rejection. And allow that energy and allow those thoughts and allow these words to start to wash over you and start to replace that old limiting belief, that old conditioning where you didn't feel good enough. You didn't feel like you were loved unconditionally. You didn't feel like you could do whatever you wanted and still be loved and received in the world. You might even feel something going on around your pancreas area. And when you're ready, you can sit on up again. Okay, and now I'm going to get you to say again out loud. Let's close the loop. It's okay to be loved unconditionally. It's safe to be loved unconditionally. I'm ready, willing, and able to be loved for who I am. It's safe to be loved as me. And when you're ready, you can come on up and you can see how that's feeling. And you might feel lighter. You might feel like something's changed, or you might feel like nothing at all has happened, and that's okay as well. But what you might notice in the next few days is when you go to do something, or when you go to speak up, or when you go to say something to someone that normally would make you really nervous or worried or upset, that this would mean that that person might not like you and therefore reject you if you are trying to say something that they don't agree with, you might notice that it's easier for you to do that than normal. You might notice that you're actually okay with it. You might notice that you feel more confident and comfortable being yourself in any area of your life, your business, with your family, etc., etc. Imelda, you have your hand up.
Yes, Dr. Adela. Thank you very much, and I love you so much. Actually, you thought this from a long time ago, but I forgot. And while you speak before this exercise, I wonder what energy comes up from me to Dr. Adela, so Dr. Adela can catch up, and then what contribution can I receive? And oh my God, my nose was blocked recently, and like 5 seconds after the exercise, my nose is free.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Imelda. And I just want to use that example because we just cleared, and this is how much the body is connected, right, to our being, to our energy, and to our life. So this is why I love body whispering, and this is why I focus on body, because everyone's like, well, you know, there's body stuff and we can change body stuff, but what I really want to change is like the other thing that will help me create the life that I want. Well, your body is the vessel through which you are experiencing life. And when your body has a problem, an issue, a pain, a disease, dis-ease, that's an indicator of healing that is required that would actually change your life. So Imelda had this blocked nose. And she comes along to this book launch, and we do this exercise about self-love and releasing the need to, releasing our fear of rejection. And after doing that exercise, her nose clears after a week, but also her life is going to change when she's in these situations. And normally what happens, maybe why her nose has been blocked, is because maybe right now in her life, this is actually a concept that's up right now. We talk about things being up energetically. So that means that maybe she's been in situations recently that have triggered this fear of rejection, and how the body responds is it creates this like physical or physiological response, which is how our body can talk to us and say, hey, something's going on for me. And when we are willing to look at that, and we're willing to work with the whispers, and when we're willing to look at what the body is trying to communicate about the whole being, we can create miracles. And this little miracle that we just saw in 5 minutes is happens on a scale, even in 2-day classes or in people who have been doing body whispering sessions in a continuous way, or in a way where they include this energy and this way of being in their life. And the playbook is meant to be your little pocketbook that you can keep around and do these exercises that keeps whispering life, allows you to stay connected to this information in a really fun and interactive way. So I hope that you guys love the playbook. I genuinely hope you do. And what I would really love, what would actually be really helpful for the playbook and for body whispering and for me, is if I could request you to do a review of the playbook. I know a lot of you have purchased it, but what the reviews do is it helps other people find the playbook. People who might not find body whispering or not find this information otherwise. So if you could go to Amazon and leave a review about the playbook, the exercises, whatever it is you want to say about how it's contributed to you or what you found interesting, that would be so helpful. I would be so appreciative. And the other thing that we will do is everyone that leaves a review in the next 2 weeks, we will put you into the draw to win a 3-month scholarship to Life Whispering Club. So I will sponsor your enrollment to Life Whispering Club for 3 months. So that means you can do 3 months of being in Life Whispering Club with me. We do a fortnightly live call. We do exercises. You will get access to so many bonuses and past recordings that will help you change any area of your life or business. So if you could leave a review, everyone that leaves a review in the next 2 weeks will be put into that draw. And shortly, in the second half of May, we're going to be running a book club. And what we'll be doing is we will be working through the playbook. So the playbook, if you haven't purchased it yet, it's on launch offer for $2.99 US. That's $2.99. So if you are able to spend less than the price of a cup of coffee on buying this playbook this month while it's on launch offer, what it will do is it will allow you to then kind of go through this book club with us. I'm going to be kicking off the first session of the playbook, and then our body whispering facilitators and practitioners will be taking over. So you'll be able to work through the different pages and exercises and journaling prompts from the body whispering playbook with our practitioners, facilitators, and myself. It's going to be super exciting. The cost of the book club will be just the cost of you purchasing the playbook. So as long as you have the playbook, you can join that book club, and we will be giving you all of that information shortly. And finally, for those of you that have been sharing and posting about the body whispering playbook on social media, thank you so much. I have all of your entries. I'm going to be posting on Instagram and Facebook the winner of the body whispering healing bundle. I have just decided to leave it open for 1 more hour because I know a lot of you bought the book right before this launch, and what I want to do is give you the opportunity to go into the draw to win the $7.99 worth of healing bundle body whispering prize that we have. So if you post onto social media using the hashtag body whispering playbook, and you share the playbook, you share what you love about it, or you just share that you purchased it, you're all going into to go in to win this healing bundle, which includes focus classes, body whispering sessions, like so many amazing things. And lastly, we know that there are some regions and some people that have not been able to purchase the book. I just want to let you know, if trying to buy the book from the links we have given you doesn't work, please try going onto your region's Amazon. So for example, there's amazon.in for India, amazon.fr for France, amazon.com.au for Australia. Try going to your region. And if that doesn't work, we do know that there are some places that cannot access the book. We are coming out with the hard copy of the book, hopefully by the end of this month. So it's a couple more weeks for you to wait, and then you will be able to have a physical copy and use all of the prompts and journaling exercises in the playbook. And that will be a wonderful thing to do as well. So that is pretty much everything for today. We have been here for a wonderful hour and time has flown. So I want to thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you so much for participating, for buying the book. As I said, please go ahead and leave a review on Amazon. It would mean the world to me. It would be really, really helpful. And I'd love to hear your feedback. I want to know what you guys think. I want to know how the playbook is contributing to your lives. I want to know if you found it helpful. I want to know what exercises you liked, what ones you didn't, what you loved, what you hated. I genuinely want to know. This is my very first written piece of material I've put out in the world in this way. So I would love your feedback. I would love to see your reviews. And if you don't want to leave a review, send me a private message, because I would genuinely love to hear about it. And yeah, thank you so much everyone for being here. I think that's everything. And see you somewhere soon. We've got body whispering classes, a live body whispering class coming up in the very first week of July, which will get the details out for you guys. And we have advanced classes in the second half of the year. And between now and then, we have lots of amazing body whispering practitioners and facilitators all around the world. So keep an eye out if you are.
Adila, baby whispering as well.
We have baby whispering as well. There's so many amazing whispering things that you can receive and learn about. And if you want to know more, probably the easiest thing for you to do is to go to www.dradilarafees.com or look me up on Facebook or Instagram, and you will stay updated on all these exciting things. So thank you so much, everyone. Have an amazing and very blessed day and week ahead, and I will see you sometime soon. Take care.
Thank you.